Well, heading into week 5, obviously you're preparing for another home game here. You're going to take on the 49ers. What have you seen from them, and how are you preparing for that matchup?
This is a team that wants to come in and run the ball. It's a very detailed run game. So, Coach Snow and, Coach Wilkes, all the defensive coaches have really detailed our run gaps and all that stuff. So just being where we're supposed to be on every play, because you got to play every play different, because there's a lot of moving parts, but you got to slow the game down, watch a lot of film with each other, not just at home. So that's what we're doing this week, just getting ready for all the motions, trades, cross, and stuff like that, so we can be in the right gap and ready for the run game when it comes.
And obviously some bad news for the defensive unit. Jeremy Chin on IR, Xavier Woods also out of practice today, but just how are you preparing to step up in Chin's absence and the defense as a whole?
Having Chin absent, he's not really absent because he's still going to be in those meetings, telling us things that he sees, and just being that leader that we need him to be, even off the field. He's just having this opportunity to go out there and perform is something I'm ready for. I've been preparing like I'm going to start every week at the safety position. I play a lot of nickel and stuff like that, but playing safety is more of a challenge of communication with the linebackers and stuff like that. So I'm ready for the challenge and ready for the opportunity.
1-3 on the season so far. Obviously, a roller coaster. You go and get the win against a division rival. You come in last week. Defense plays lights out. It's a struggle. You lose the game ultimately, but just what's the mindset of this team right now, and how are you guys staying together in the locker room? We're
staying together well. I think it starts with the leadership, our older teammates, trickling down to us. 3-year, 2-year, 1-year players, and the energy's good. Nobody's hanging their heads. We were in every game. We're ready to win. You know what I'm saying? We need to win here in Charlotte. Protect the bank like everybody says, and it's time to go out there and get a win. And we're preparing to win. So I just can't wait for us to go out there and put a whole 4 quarters together, not just 30 minutes or 3 quarters. Just put a whole game together collectively, offense, defense, and special teams.
With defense kind of being the bright spot right now, a lot is expected from you guys while the offense is still kind of searching for its identity. But kind of going back to the last game, how hard is it for you guys to really come out there and spend so much time on the field and kind of hold it together for 4 quarters?
It's something that you sign up for when you play defense. It's like Coach knows, the objective is to hold the team under as many points as we have. So that's our job, and we don't really look at it as the offense is struggling. We're just like, eventually they're going to click, and we're going to be clicking at the same time. So we just need to play connected football, like Coach Rule always says, and just play connected football, offense, defense, and special teams. And eventually that offense is going to click, and we're going to be already going on defense, and it's going to be a special thing to watch.
Absolutely. And you mentioned energy. I went back and watched when you were mic'd up this season. Is that you every game, or you added a little something because you had the mic on?
Oh, I'm like that every game. I'm just happy on game day. Can't take this job for granted. Just having fun out there. That's the day where you can not really think about. Practice is a time to think about things. Coaches get on you, but Sundays is a day to just go let free, play what you see, play with what you practice all week, and just go have fun. And I'm a happy guy. Try to keep everybody loose, because if you play uptight, that's when you start making mistakes. So having everybody laugh, and when it's time to be serious in the middle of the play, ain't much really going on. But after the play, I'm joking with the other team, joking with our team. But during the play, I'm a serious guy. But that's usually me during every game.
And then just how would you describe yourself as a player?
I would say a versatile player. I've been this way since I was at Ole Miss, probably since my sophomore year, when I was playing like 6 different positions in one game. So just being a dude just one of the guys, that coach needs a corner, I'll go out there and play corner. You need a Mike backer, might not be good, but I'll do my best. But any position, just prepare and know everything in the defense, because you're one play away from being I'm really one play away from being a corner, nickel, safety. So just preparing like I can play all those positions, and that's really goes into the film work and practice detail, deep practicing and stuff like that. So that's what kind of player I am. I'm just one of the guys who, when called on, I'm ready whenever I'm called on.
Yeah, and then just reflecting on your journey, the Panthers taking a chance on you in 2020 to be here in 2022 and be a part of this defense. Just kind of reflect on your journey and tell me what it means to be here.
It's a blessing. Coming from New Jersey, actually come from Ole Miss, come from New Jersey to prep school in Massachusetts to Ole Miss, and then now here being undrafted, not having, coming in COVID, not having any college Senior Bowl invites, no combine, no pro day, nothing. It's a blessing to even sit here with you right now, and I'm happy for it. Coach Rule gave me the shot my rookie year, playing both sides of the ball then, and then later in that season playing nickel and showing them that I could really play these positions. It's been nothing but a blessing, and I take it like that every day, every practice, every moment, even in the film room, just being around the guys. Like everybody says, the times that you remember is stuff that happens in the locker room, and I just want to leave. If I can impact somebody's life and showing them that it's possible if you just put your head down and do what you're told and be in the right position and study and do all the right things to be here, it's a blessing.
Yeah, and you also use your platform, I know, to give back to the community, and that's important to you. Why do you want to do that, and share some of the things that you've been able to do? Yeah,
so my foundation is the Hearts Foundation. We do a bunch of initiatives. We got one coming up, which is our breast cancer walk in New Jersey. We do a lot of things in the community because, back home, a lot of kids that are growing up, I was the first player to kind of make it to the NFL, and I like to go back home to show the kids that it's possible. Plan A for me, plan B wasn't make plan A work. So, going back and showing them that it's possible, but at the end of the day, you still have an obligation to go back and give back to the people who helped you get here, help the next kids come up. And, the Heart Foundation, we do a lot of things to educate health and awareness and stuff like that. My cousin had a breast cancer, so that really sparked an interest in me as a young kid to, once I get to the league, I'm gonna do a lot of stuff with American Cancer Society and stuff like that. So I love doing anything that can help the community, because I remember when I was that kid going to those things and seeing an NFL player, was like, wow, I can be that one day. And now I'm that dude, and I gotta hold myself accountable. Even when sometimes you're like, oh, I don't want to, you gotta be like, okay, this is for the right reasons, and I'm gonna go do this because it's the right thing to do.
Yeah, what does it mean when you have a moment like that with a kid that's just like, what? Like, Myles, you're here, you're giving back, I get to spend a day at camp with you? What does that mean?
It's beautiful. You see those kids and they know everything about you. Going back to Jersey, and I see a bunch of kids that, I know since they were yay high, now they're high school seniors, and they're like, oh, I remember when we used to talk about this and that. It's just a beautiful moment. And then doing stuff in Charlotte, seeing the fans and seeing how much of an impact this organization has on the community is a beautiful thing. A lot of kids look up to us and they want to be in our shoes. So just to give a moment can impact that kid's life for a long time. And they might be on the wrong track, and they see you have the right conversation. You might be a room of 20. You might impact 2, and that's enough. Because those 2 kids are going to impact 2 more kids. So that's all I preach to anyone. If you're in a room and you have people looking up to you, impact 1 person at a time. Because you can't impact the whole room, but as long as you can impact 1, that 1 will turn into 20 eventually.
No, that's a great mindset. I haven't really heard somebody break it down like that before. So, and then no stranger to the mic. So tell me about podcasting and sharing your story. I know I watched a video on YouTube. You went to Duncan. My boss loves Duncan. I do not, so I wasn't going to bring that up.
Duncan, hands down, is better than Starbucks. I'm stamping that right there.
Can't do it. But, but no, obviously I watched that video sharing your journey, but also doing some podcasting. Just what are your goals with that?
Having this platform is something I've always wanted. Going to school for broadcast journalism at Ole Miss, and being that young kid, my parents didn't like to have the commentator on the TV, so they would turn the volume down. I'm like, no, turn it back on. I need to hear this play-to-play. And just picking up on little tendencies of how to talk and how to articulate your words, and try to stay away from the filler words and stuff like that is something I've tried to enhance as I've gone about. And it's been a blessing to open up and talk on my own platform and talk about things I want to talk about. So I started a network, which is the Off-Season Network, where I have 3 podcasts on the network. And I have my own podcast, where it's This Is Me podcast. And the reason why I called it This Is Me is just showing people, like, this is the true me outside of, we have a helmet on most of the day, but if you want to get to know me, you watch the podcast This Is Me, and you'll learn more about who I am as a person, what I like to do, my insight on different things. And we try not to talk about sports because I play football. People mostly know my football accolades, but getting to know me, that like Duncan, I get to tell you how my gym is back in Jersey and stuff like that. It's just beautiful to have.
Yeah, and then I'll wrap up with that, but your Limitless Fitness, right? Yeah. So what was the motivation behind starting that, and what's your goal there?
Oh, Limitless Fitness. It started during COVID. A bunch of not having a combine invite, and pro day was supposed to be a week after everything shut down. It was a tough time. I was like, I can't stop working out because I have a dream to play in the NFL. And two of my cousin Dion and my best friend Isaiah, we came together like, bro, we don't want you to lose your shape. You don't want you to lose that. You never know what might happen. And then after the Panthers called and I signed a contract here, we were still online. And I was like, we need to go work out. So we started with us three and a couple of our friends outside at our local field in Sayreville. And it came in, people started seeing us, and then we created the gym, which is now Limitless Fitness. We actually just closed down our first spot and opening a whole new spot where it's going to be way bigger. It's been a blessing coming from COVID, being outside, going into a facility, now getting into a bigger facility with us, having a new staff in there of 11 people now underneath us. We're from athletic trainers to group trainers to personal trainers, and also partnering with a physical therapy company is something that we've grown to do. Getting our operation stuff down and just being able to do it in our hometown is something that, again, it's like giving back. It's giving back to a community because we didn't have a facility. We had to travel a whole hour and a half really to go to a facility. But having a facility that people can afford in town is something that we dreamed about for like 10 years. Being young kids, we thought this was going to be something that we start in our 30s and 40s, but it was like Isaiah just said in our last podcast, why not now? And we started it then, and we're still pushing to get more clients and show them that health is wealth, and just show them that the better themselves, they can be better and do better, and how better they can feel once they put their all into something. And they can lean on us for helping them get to where they want to be. And Limitless Fitness, the name says it itself. Limitless Fitness is there's no limit to what you want to do.
That's going to be special, though, to watch it go from what you guys came up with during COVID to now, like you said, opening up a bigger facility and a bigger staff and helping more people.
Yeah, it started off with 5 people, and before we closed down the first spot, we got all the way up to about 75. So it's beautiful. You see people talking about it all through New Jersey. Oh, Limitless Fitness, and they don't even know I'm the owner. They're like, and then I tell them I own Limitless Fitness. Like, oh, I know about that spot. I seen the advertisements on Instagram. That's something beautiful too. Going from 0 followers to almost 2K and stuff like that, and just giving. Even though we have a business, we still as a business give back to the community. They're into the foundation stuff. They're in every step of everything, and having that staff around that we have is beautiful. Having our general manager, our team manager who run our day-to-day operations and stuff like that. We wouldn't be able to do it without them. And our parents are big on, they didn't help us with nothing. They were like, if you want to do it, you got to put your own money into it, because you ain't going to destroy, you ain't going to quit on your own money. So that was one thing we learned. We put all of it in together, and we're still kicking to this day. We're still trying to grow. Eventually we want to push it out into different parts of New Jersey, but we're going to take it, just like we play football, we're going to take it one day at a time, one rep at a time.
Yeah, you have a lot of passions. It comes across, I can tell. So, well, that's awesome. Yep. Anything else I should have asked you about, or that you want to share, or that I missed, that the world should know about Myles?
I'm just a kid from New Jersey who, loves the opportunity, who's just happy to, first year I was happy to be here, but now I'm happy that I'm getting these opportunities to show that I belong here. And going out there each week and proving that to people and proving that to myself first and foremost, and just doing what coach asks. Any job, I'm a guy who, if you need a gunner, I'm gonna go run down at gunner. If you need a 5 on kickoff, I'll run down. If you need a safety, nickel, whatever, just like that. I'm just like I say to everybody, I'm one of the guys who just not everybody can be that star guy like Jeremy and X and stuff like that. Sometimes you need a role player like me who could just step in and fill a spot when someone goes down. And I feel like that's the perfect role for me right now. So when I become that star player like X and Jeremy and stuff like that, I'll be ready for that moment. They're helping me get to that standpoint.
Mm-hmm. Do you think being able to play both sides of the ball, like coming in and knowing like I could be running back, I could be nickel, I could be safety, whatever it might be, do you think that kind of helped expand your skill set and your talents and how you can contribute?
Yeah, definitely. I think it gave me the unselfish like charisma, I guess. Like, offense. Even though I play running back, most of the time I was going in on practice when the defense was tackling the running back. It was cool. I'm cool. It's cool. If that's my job, I'm gonna do it. You want me to run hard so they can hit me? cool. But I think it's helped me, just from a vision standpoint, playing safety and reading the gaps. As a running back, I want to read it as if a running back would, the cut back, stretching it out so he can cut back. That's helped me out at nickel, because nickel is basically a linebacker who's a DB at this standpoint, and just reading the gaps as a running back would has helped me basically being able to do it as a DB.